sack. Is that all you get for your money? And it seems such a waste of time. If that's what it's all about, mama, if that's moving up, then I'm moving out. I'm moving out.
Moving out you are. And that's exactly what the British colonists are going to do. They're going to move from England all the way to the New World, into modern-day America, and develop into the 13 colonies. Now, today's lesson, we're going to be looking at the first attempt to colonize in the New World. This is beyond exploration. Colonize simply means that they're going to take it over and they're going to settle there. John Cabot, 1497, sailed to Canada, put a flag down there, but didn't settle there, went back to England. This is going to be different. So we get into the essential questions for the unit, which the first one is, they're all going to be relevant for today's lesson on Roanoke. Can different cultures blend and appreciate each other? Last unit we talked about the natives and the conquistadors largely. This unit will be more about the English, the natives, and there's going to be a third group added in there, which is the influx of Africans coming over from Africa who are going to be part of this transatlantic slave trade. Yes, America takes on the institution of slavery, which lasts up until the end of the Civil War. So from this unit up until the end of the Civil War, there will be slavery in the United States. Second essential question is, why leave home? There's going to be people who are going to take this treacherous journey to the New World. Why do it? It's a huge risk. And a lot of the reasons are same from before, but there are going to be a few more that are added in. One being the ones that are from before. God, gold, and glory will all play a role. Building an empire will play a role. But in addition to that, there's going to be groups that leave because maybe they're not able to practice their religion, or they're viewed upon as second-class citizens inside of England. Or maybe because they want to escape debt. Debt will be huge for certain people who are stuck, because people in debt, oftentimes they're thrown into prison or they can't get jobs, whatever have you, and their way out is to go to the New World. Last one, how does where you live affect how you live? Once they settle in certain areas, there will be specific resources available to them. In some cases, colonies will fail. Roanoke will fail. But we'll get into that a bit later. The colonies themselves will develop based on the resources that are available to them, based on the natives who are surrounding them, and based on the people that go there. Now, in the 16th century, you can see there's two countries that dominate in North, South, and Central America, your New World. You should know who they are by now. They're the first two to actually explore out there. If you said Spain and Portugal, you were correct. Portugal goes to modern-day Brazil. Spain, as you can see, the red there, conquers a huge chunk of territory. England is becoming more powerful, and they're not going to sit back and do nothing. Eventually, they will go to the New World, and they will risk going to the New World by fighting a war with Spain. And guess what? They will win that war in the 1500s, and we'll get to that a little bit later. But for now, you should understand that England's just not going to sit around and do nothing. They're going to take on the Spanish Empire. So Queen Elizabeth I is the Queen of England. Right now, the Queen of England is Queen Elizabeth II. But Queen Elizabeth I, she grants Sir Walter Raleigh permission to overlook the expedition and the settlement in the New World. You should know that name, Raleigh. It's important. What's the capital of North Carolina? Raleigh. Okay, the first colony in the modern-day United States will be called Virginia, because the Queen is known, her nickname is the Virgin Queen in England. But it's really in modern-day North Carolina. And the name of the settlement, if you already didn't get it, is called Roanoke. Roanoke is a specific location in Virginia, Greater Virginia, that will be settled. It's located in modern-day Outer Banks, North Carolina. As you can see here, We have the Lost Colony, called the Lost Colony because we don't know what happened to it. We'll get to that later. Located here on the outskirts of North Carolina. This is actually, Jamestown will be the first permanent settlement that survives in the New World for England. Original colonists are all men, and like the conquistadors, they're going to be searching for gold and silver. Now, what's the problem with that? If you answered there's no gold and silver in that area, you were absolutely correct. There's no gold, silver in North Carolina. They have to find other resources. So they're on a mission that's going to fail. They're going to go back to England, but England is going to send additional people. The second mission they send men and women. Why women? Yes, if you answered that they want to create families. Anytime you send men and women to a location, much better chance of having a permanent settlement because there will also be men and women who can create these families. But they run into a few problems, and the first problem is that the natives in there are not exactly the most friendly. They're more hostile. Columbus encounters friendly natives. Ponce de Leon, if you remember, is shot in the arrow with bow and arrow and killed. Champlain is shot with a bow and arrow, injured. One of the colonists in Roanoke is also shot and killed. So there's going to be a situation there in Roanoke. They're not going to be able to trade with the natives. If they're not going to be able to trade with the natives, guess what? They're going to run out of supplies. So John White realizes this. John White is the head of the expedition. And he's going to go back to England. And he's going to want to reinforce the settlement. But he's also going to want to get more supplies to help out the people there. Because right now it doesn't look too good. So John White is in England and he's begging the Queen, please, Queen Elizabeth, send me back, send me back. And every time she says, no, no, John White, I can't send you back. We're fighting a war with Spain. We need to use all our resources, ships and men to fight this war with Spain. So John White is in a little bit of a bind. He's got relatives in the New World. He's worried sick about them, but the Queen's word stands. Luckily for him, after 3 years, England is able to defeat Spain. And finally, John White gets his ship, and he goes back to the New World. And he's excited to see his long-lost relatives, but he returns, and there is absolutely no one there. They're gone. The only major clue that he finds is on a tree. In English letters is the word Croatoan. Where could they have gone? These people are missing. All kinds of theories are spreading. One theory, the Spanish attacked them and killed them. Another theory, they drowned at sea. Another theory, they starved because they didn't have enough supplies. Another theory, they moved in with Native Americans. There's a neighboring Native American group called the Croatan. They moved in with the Hatteras Indians. They were attacked and killed by Indians. All of these theories are floating around. What could have happened? We don't know the answer. Today, you will find the answer. You will figure it out on your own. But first, you got to play the Zondel on Roanoke and get 100%. If you're done early, you're going to watch the films that are available on the wiki on www.mrmedia.com or read articles on Roanoke. They are below this video now. Okay, so play the Zondel. If you're done early, then look at the additional resources to help you understand Roanoke a little bit better. And then we will move on to the clue part where you're going to look at first-hand clues of what could have happened to these colonists.